All right, guys. So we're about to take this boat out onto Marine Creek Lake. It's been raining all day yesterday and pretty much all of night up into this morning. It just stopped. It's about 9 a.m. The rest of the day it shows about 40% chance of rain. So I do have submission clothes that I put in the truck with a towel as well for after I am done using this kayak out on the lake today. Today's temperature is right around 55 degrees and the wind is right about 11 miles per hour right now coming from the northwest. So for one, these fish are probably going to be lethargic, but today, honestly, I'm just trying to review the kayak a little bit better and trying to see how it does out on the water with winds, maybe a little bit rougher water than just straight flat waters. So we're about to go out there, give it a shot, give a little review on the boat, and then, if I'm lucky, maybe catch a bass or two. So anyways, guys, stay tuned for this, and I'll see you guys at the lake.
There's a new day that will come again.
All right, guys, I'm just pulling up to the lake. I'm going to be at the staging area right here while I get my kayak ready. Not a single soul on the lake. Obviously, it's windy. You can see the small little waves it's making. And it's cold. That is why my favorite time of year to fish is during the fall and winter. Because you get the lakes all to yourself most of the time. So, less pressure, more fish. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get my kayak set up. I'm going to go out there and I'm gonna go fish. All right, guys, so there it is, all set up, ready to go. It's kind of what I got as a setup. My fish finder up there, the battery's just tucked under there for right now, transducer arm. Then I'll go ahead and throw the GoPro up there, but that's kind of what I got going on. Going pretty light today, just 2 rods. Let's go ahead and get launched. All right, guys, so the reason you guys can still hear me is because I decided to go with a wireless mic from Lapel. So we're gonna give it a shot, guys. Right now you guys are obviously in the back of my truck facing backwards because I'm about to launch this kayak out the back. And then we will get out on the water and see what happens. So right now I'm obviously having to back up. I'm gonna go a little bit more to this side over here. That way I can just get on those rocks and hold the kayak in place. I don't want to back up way too fast either, but I do want to get pretty close to the water. There we go. All right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and launch this kayak real quick. All right, guys. So the reason I have this rope right here is on this side right here is because I always leave it attached to this front eyelet just in case I back up too fast and the kayak wants to slide. Especially once you load them down, they really do tend to do that. But now that I have this rope in my hand, all I got to do is slide you guys on back. You guys see how fast it wanted to go just because it's so light and it's loaded down in the back. That's kind of what it's going with. There you go, guys. So now you guys are in the water. I'm gonna pull this kayak up, or I can pull my truck out of the way and go park. That's easy as that. We're just gonna go ahead and get out here and go to our normal little spot and keep our knees up high. That way we're not feeling so tippy. But it is doing good, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It feels good. I think what I'm gonna do is I want to play it smart. I'm gonna go over here by the riprap over here. I'll follow the dam all the way down, and then I'll cut across once I'm in that protected cove over there. But I should be fine now. These waves are kind of strong and pushing me, but it's all right. We'll get past it all. Don't worry. I will tell you, sitting inside feels much different than just being on a sit on top. You could just feel all the waves moving you around. Sit on top, you feel it, but it's more like your kayak just moves with it. So there's that. And like right now, my kayak reads 5 foot of water. My sonar right there. I actually do like that setup with the front screen like that. It gives me a lot of confidence. Like it's cool. Like the other one was up here on the left, but this one is kind of nice just having it right there, right in front, constantly looking at it. The battery box is eventually just going to end up going in here with the waterproof box that I have at home. I just haven't got around to it. Anyways, let's dig these paddles in, guys. Let's get on across the lake here. I'll give you the rundown of my absolute favorite, and that is a drop shot weight right here. Drop shot rig, guys. So I have a little drop shot weight there with the drop shot hook, and my favorite drop shot soft plastic is the KVD Dream Shot, guys. So all you want to do is there's different ways to basically use this or fish this basically. So you want to get on your spinning setup, just cast it out there, guys. You're gonna let it fall. Um, what I like to do is, depending on the lake and depending on what's going on. For example, today's super windy. Um, just kind of let it drop, guys, and you can either wiggle it back your way, or you can just drag it along, guys. But anyways, oh, there's a bite. Like I told you guys. Oh, that's a jumper. Oh, already, guys. It's working. I'm telling you guys, this drop shot rig works. This one's a little fighter, guys. Oh my god. In the weeds, guys. This is a good fish. Oh, this is a good fish. All right, guys. As that proves my dang point, that the drop shot really freaking works in this kind of weather, guys. I mean, check that fish out, guys. He pretty much ate that. Let's go ahead and get him unhooked here. He's feisty. But anyways, guys, that was my first cast. That's just goes to show you that the drop shot rig definitely works, guys. I'm gonna keep throwing it so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. But basically, that right there just landed me this nice size bass right here. Let's go ahead and give it a little quick release so that we can keep talking about this rig. Anyways, here you go, buddy. Anyways, the drop shot just works amazingly well for me, and it works in all kinds of weather, especially when it gets cold, when the bite gets tough, when it's raining. I mean, I don't know, all sorts of stuff, guys. The drop shot just tends to work for me. Cast out there, let it drop. And then what you want to do here, guys, is you could just barely, maybe give it a hop or two. There we go, we got a bite, There we go. What'd I tell you guys? That was an awesome little fish. Awesome little bite, buddy. So the drop shot is on absolute fire today, guys. Just so you guys know, that is what's working right now. Second little fish on the drop shot. Let's go ahead and release him real quick. Come on, buddy. You're free. Okay. We're gonna cast one more time and see if we can't take another fish. All right, guys. So basically on this kayak, it is holding up pretty well against these waves out here, guys. I fished the cove up there. That's obviously not that insane over there with the wind. Now that as I'm paddling back to the truck, I actually have to cut across the lake. And to be honest with you guys, it's handling these waves pretty good. I'm not feeling nervous or anything. It is a change from a sit on top, but it's not terrible. So the wind is blowing right now about 13 miles an hour from the north. So I'm just gonna dig my paddles in and make my way back. Definitely a good kayak to paddle around. It is not like it tracks pretty good. It doesn't lose course that easy, which I thought would happen a lot with it only being a 9.5-foot kayak. But overall, it's doing its job. It's working. Everything's fine. So I'm just working my way back, and I know these waters aren't so ideal for a kayak like this. So I think it's doing great. Stop paddling, I'll be okay. That's pretty good in these little waves. Here comes the pretty big ones. Let's see what happens. It handles them pretty good. Go ahead and keep paddling out of the way. Let's go ahead and make our way back. All right, guys, we're back at the boat ramp. I'm gonna go ahead and go in sideways. All right, go ahead and step out of this kayak. It was a good little day trip. Kayak handled really well out there in the water with all the wind and stuff. And on top of that, guys, I mean, I can't complain. I caught some fish too, so that works out really good.
There's a new day to wash away the pain. There's a new day.
All right, guys, so that is going to be it for the kayak review. Um, Overall, this kayak did do really, really well out on the water, especially with those winds that we had today. Uh, I did think that it wasn't going to be as good as it really was. It honestly kind of blew me away. With it only being 9.5 foot in length, I did think this kayak was going to get tossed around everywhere and maybe spun around. But the kayak actually paddled really, really well. And on top of that, guys, it tracked pretty straight. Even if I stopped paddling, it really wouldn't like veer off to the sides at all or spin around. The waves were pretty strong out there, and it did kind of push me left and right. That's normal. I mean, on a kayak, you're not going to be perfectly still unless you anchor down, and even then, you still get pushed around a bit. Um, but I was fairly surprised with this kayak, especially how light it is and everything. So I thought it was going to be a hectic day out there, and it turned out to be really, really well. It was a great day. I even landed two fish, guys. Uh, but for the price of under $500 for a sit inside, yeah, you're not going to sit on top. Um, Obviously, you can't really stand on that, but it's still a good budget kayak. It gets you out on the water, handles really well. Most importantly, it gets you on some fish, guys. So I would highly recommend this. Look into it. They do make that same kayak. I think it's in a 10.5 foot length. Can't remember off the top of my head what it's called, but it is still made by Perception. Obviously, just different box stores have different names, right? So the Academy, it's the Perception Sound 9.5, but other stores will have it just named a little bit different for their in-store brands. But they do make it in a 10.5 foot length, and it adds up. I think it adds like 70 pounds or 100 pounds to its max weight capacity. But overall, I kind of did like the really cool way that I have it rigged up, with the just the two ram mounts on the front, and it has my fish finder right in front of me, as well as the GoPro where you guys normally sit off to the left, and then that transducer mount, that Scotty mount that I adapted on there. It was a really good kayak for the wind and everything, so I like the setup. Obviously, I'll still be tweaking it here and there. Got to put in my waterproof battery box in there, as well as other adjustments that I may make to it as I use it more often. Just kind of figure out what I use it more and how to set up my gear in there. But other than that, great kayak for the price. Definitely recommend it. So, anyways, with that being said, you guys keep on fishing.